Hi there, it's Carol with Carol B Crafts. Today we'll be doing card number 5 in my You're Inspiring and Flying Home online card class. Now the kit for this class, which includes 6 cards and 1 bonus project, will be available through April 30th, 2018. If you're watching this after that date, check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com to see what my current classes are. If you don't have the card kit, don't worry. I will put the dimensions as we go, and also on my blog, my website, just search You're Inspiring or Flying Home, and that way you can make this card along with us. Or if you have the kit and you'd like to make more, you'll know how. Let's take a look and see what comes in our kit. Now everything is pre-cut and pre-scored for you. And this is the kit that we will need. We'll go over what's in here. You'll need your mini dimensionals from your adhesive pack. And then you have a Whisper White, thick Whisper White card base. In your envelope you have a 7-inch piece of the silver metallic edge ribbon. You'll have 3 little pearls, one of each size of the basic pearls that we sell. I'll put those back in there so they don't get lost. You'll also get, now this is a piece of Marina Mist cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4, and it's embossed with the Simple Stripes folder. That's this folder right here, and also some of the cardstock we're having problems with it. So if you are having problems with your cardstock, just put tape a piece of the window sheets in there, and that will take care of the problem for you. So that's that folder. Now this is a piece of the Sweet Soiree DSP, and it's the flower with the white background, and it has the silver around the flowers, and that is 5 1/8 by 2 3/4. That's going to go there. Then we'll have our ribbon. Now for the focal point, we have the largest scalloped circle and the layering circle framelits, and then we have the second largest circle, and this is thick Whisper White in that same layering circle framelits. And I give you 2 in case you need a extra. So we also have for the inside sentiment, which I have Happy Mother's Day. I masked off part of the stamp as I did in a previous card that I did for you, and I'll show you how to do that again today, but you could make this a birthday card as well. So let's see. And then for the inside, we have a Marina Mist again, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then just regular Whisper White, 4 by 3. So it goes on top of this. So we're going to start out doing our stamping. So let's get our white and our white here. We'll put these aside for later. We'll need this for part of our stamping, so keep this on top. So now the stamps that we're going to use is the Flying Home, and we're going to use this little image here. Well, it's not really little. It's pretty good size. In fact, it needs to be on an E block. It's so big. And then we're going to use You're Inspiring. And you know, you could even make this an Easter card if you want to put Happy Easter. But we'll be using Because of You, I Am Me, and I will be masking off that part there so that I just have the Happy Mother's Day. So we need the You're Inspiring, and then this tiny little bird, the one with the feet. I have that on there. Now we'll be using a different ink. We're going to be using Calypso Coral ink. I thought that went better with the card. It softened it up a little bit. If you don't have Calypso Coral, then you could probably use, I would go with a gray or maybe even a light brown black if you don't have anything, but I use the Calypso Coral for the sentiments as well. And of course you're going to need your Stamp-A-Majig as usual, because your images come pre-cut to size. So we'll start with let's start with our bird image. And I like to put a little bit of adhesive on the sides to hold these down while I stamp. And we'll stamp our image first onto our sheet for our Stamp-A-Majig. Now this is a nice big stamp. So this Calypso Coral works pretty well with this stamp. Okay, so straight down and up. Now let me pull this in a little bit here so you can see it. So the image here, it just fits inside this circle. But we want the branch straight across so that when we put the "You're Inspiring," it doesn't look wonky on us. So this leaf is just barely to that edge, and the tail of the bird is just barely to the edge of that. Now this will hang over, but that's okay. So when you get that where you want it, then you put your Stamp-A-Majig in place, and then just ink up your stamp and go straight down. Give it a little help and up. So now we're going to do the "You're Inspiring," and we'll use our Stamp-A-Majig for that, and get my "You're Inspiring" stamp, ink it up, and go straight down and up. And now we can line that up over here where we like to have it. Just about right there. Looks good. Okay, that's a little low. Good thing I stamped another one. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in place and see if I can get that up just a little bit higher this next go around. There, that looks good. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so so now that's ready to color, and we'll do the inside, and it's going to be horizontal, and I already have some adhesive on the back here because I got ahead of myself. All right, so we want Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. So if you wanted to use the whole stamp, because of you I am me, then that's perfectly fine too. My mother's passed on, so that wouldn't really be appropriate for me to give to anyone. So I'm going to mask off that part, and I'll bring this in even closer so you can see I've masked off that part, but there's a little bit of the Y left that's peeking out, so I'm going to just use the corner of this tape to cover that Y right there. So I'll bring my Stamp-A-Majig sheet back in, and I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up with the tape in place, but I'm going to just put that on my Stamp-A-Majig sheet, and that will show me where my Happy Mother's Day is. And I'm going to bring in that piece of Marina Mist that I told you to put on top, and I think I'm going to line it up with this line here, about 1 1/4 inches from the top. And then this cardstock is going to help me line this Mother's Day up horizontally. And then when I have it in place, I'll just put my fingers down, remove it, put my Stamp-A-Majig in place. Now here's the tricky part. You ink up your stamp again But before you stamp, you have to remove this tape, or else you're going to have a big old mess on your hands. So then you're just going to take it and go straight down and straight up. Now I wanted to add a little birdie up there, so I have the one with the feet. I'll get my sheet out and I'll ink up my bird. Make sure that it's flat when I'm doing this so that I don't get any on the side. Alright, so here's my bird, and I'll put my Stamp-O-Majig in place. Ink up my stamp again and check it to make sure. Oh, yep, I've got ink on the side. That means it's going to get ink on my cardstock where I don't want it. So I'll start all over. You have to be really light-handed when you do this, or you're going to get it where you don't want it. Alright, so let's hope. Straight down and straight up. Alright, we have our little birdie. So we're done with our stamping. We're going to go on to our watercoloring. Now you'll need some water in a container. Let me come out a little bit. Let me move this up. It's better and more in camera. You'll need a little bit of water. Not a lot. Looks like I probably should get some more. And you'll need something to wipe your brush with. So we'll start with our little bird. It's going to be blue. So we'll just color with circles. Lightly color him blue or her blue. And we'll take our brush, make sure it has a nice point. And it doesn't need to be too wet, just damp, not wet. And we're going to color the wings. We're going to do the little beak. It's going to be yellow. Clean up our brush. And then just touch that yellow, just barely touch it. Now we're going to do You're Inspiring the Little Birds. I've got it on some some tape on the back of that. Now this one is going to be, I probably shouldn't tape it down. This one's going to be more of a softer watercolor look, so that's what we're going to be going for. So I'm going to start out really light. I'm staying inside this bowl here. Now when I think I've got a nice light coating, I'm going to come in and kind of just hit it more with a heavier hand on the, like in the areas where the marks are, just to give it a little shading. Now I'm ready to come in with my water, and we don't want it very wet at all, just barely wet. We're going to do 1/2 of it. I'm just going to blend 1/2. And we'll get these here on the side. And then while it's still wet, we're going to come in and add just a little bit more color. Not a lot, just a little. Now we'll turn it over and do the other side. Get our brush just a little bit wet. And then we'll come back in with our pencil and just add just a little bit of more color. Okay, so that's our nest. Now we're going to do the bird, the mother bird. We're going to color her with the circles, all blue. And then when we have a light color on her, we'll come in with the brush. Just a faint amount of water. Okay, we're going to let her dry, and we're going to move on to the little birds. This is just sticking to my paper. And we'll do the little birds. I think I'm going to sharpen my pencil. You don't need a really sharp pencil, but you do want to be able to see where it's going, because these are little images. So I'm going to hit it with some water, my wet brush. Okay, I'm going to let those dry. Now this wing, I want the wing a little darker, so I'm going to come in. That's had a little chance to dry now, so it should take it pretty well. Okay, and I'll hit that with my water. These little birdies, I might hit them again. All right, now we're ready to do the beaks. Now after these are fully dried, you can always come back in with your pencil and fill in the marks, the edges. That's what I did with this bird. That's why it's a little bit darker. I filled it in afterwards, after it dried. Now I'll get my pencil, touch that just a little bit. Touch their beaks. I'll come back in with this yellow. I'm just going to do the mom's beaks, not the baby's beaks. Now we're ready to do the branch, which is going to be early espresso. This is a light coating. And then we'll hit it with some water. We'll do that part. Come back in with some brown, and lightly add that some brown, and then we'll hit this one with water. And come back in with just a little bit of brown. Makes it look like wood, which is good. And then we'll hit this with some brown here. Okay. And like I said, later you can come in and fill in once it's dry. Now all we have left to do are the leaves. And so we're going to go ahead and do those. Put one coat on. And we'll do these a little bit heavier in the colors. All right, then we'll hit it with some water. Just a tiny bit of wet it just enough. We'll do about 4 leaves, and then we'll come in before it dries and add some more color. And we'll do a few more. Now I will come in after this dries and fill in, make the edges more pronounced with the dry pencil, but I won't put any water on it. So now we're ready to put this on our card, and I've made a mess of my my paper. So let's bring in our stuff that we need to put our card together. Here we have our thick Whisper White base. We'll go ahead and find the valley and fold it away from us. Get our bone folder. And crease our fold. Now this is our horizontal card, so we'll be doing it this way. And somewhere, here we have it, the scalloped circle, the largest scalloped circle from our Layering Circles Framelits. And we're going to put this on, that largest circle, scalloped circle. Whoops, it moved. And then we're going to go ahead and put our sentiment on the inside. And let's see, now this is going to go on our, but we want a 1/16 of an inch on these three sides. Now this ribbon is going to go here in between the DSP and the cardstock, so we're going to bring it around. So we'll just kind of figure where we're going to need to put our adhesive, about 1 inch of adhesive on the other side to hold our ribbon in place. So we'll line it up so it's even on both edges. And then push it to the back. And push it to the back. Okay, so I zoomed out. I just realized I hadn't zoomed back out. So we'll put this on our card front because it's ready to go there. Use my waxy strip from the mini glue dots. And we're going to put 1/8 of an inch all around. Now we're going to put this on with our mini dimensionals. So from your adhesive kit, I have it, you put probably like 4 at the top, or in like a semicircle, and then 4 at the bottom. Trying to avoid that ribbon, and then probably a couple there. I think we can put another one here. And I think one there. That should be enough. So now I'm going to take all these little backings off. Okay, I have all the little backings off. So I'm going to put this so that it's about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of this Arena Mist, and it's centered and even as best I can. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. So now all we have left to do is to find our little pearls. They should be still in our envelopes. We have 3 sizes. The largest one is going to go right here. So I'm going to use my piercing tool for this. I find it's easiest. So I'm just going to take that off and put that here. Then the medium one is going to go up here, right there. And then the smallest one is going to go right here by the G, just above the G. Kind of right there. All right, so we have card number 5 in our You're Inspiring Flying Home online class. Again, if you haven't got the kit, check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com. Go shopping with that host code and make the minimum $60 retail before shipping and tax, and you can have your own kit to follow along with us. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in video number 6. Bye.